Basically, everything started in 2012 when I started noticing the lack of identity that we had online as Saudi women.
In Saudi Arabia, my gender decides whether or not I can enter certain ministries, what I can major in college, and if I can name my own child.
Why is our homeland so small and tight? And why am I considered a criminal or an enemy that threatens it? I was never but a good citizen that loved her country and wished the best for it.
When they first arrested Loujain, Eman, and the others, they had printed out a national newspaper with a stamp on their faces in red saying traitors.
There is every reason to believe that there is torture involved. Families noted the torture signs, the blackened thighs.
The first time my parents visited Loujain, she could barely walk. She said she had been sexually harassed, that she has been electrocuted, she has also been flogged. At night they would come and just scream at her and threaten her with rape and murder.
One of the women has attempted suicide. So we know the severity of the torture that happened.
Saudi Arabia is one of the most repressive countries in the world. I mean, this is a government that will stop at nothing, and we know that, to silence its critics.
When King Salman came into power and Mohammed bin Salman became the crown prince, it escalated to such an extent that the red lines that you thought you could maneuver no longer exist. People are disappearing and there's no logic to it.
On a daily basis, you go and beg everyone to try and transport you for a simple and basic need, going to school, work, or going to the grocery store, for instance. I decided to do something about it.
She wrote on Twitter that she was going to cross the border.
أهلين معكم لوجين الهذلول على الحدود السعودية من هناك في محاولة لاستمرار حملة قيادة المرأة للسيارة ونشوف وش يصير.
She just said, let's see what happens, and that was the first time someone really dares publicly to do it.
They saw somebody who was engaging quite live and uncensored. I think the government was very scared of this. They saw how much impact she had, and that needed to be silenced.
If I drive my car as a woman, I am not only breaking a social taboo, but also entering into a discussion of whether or not I am breaking the law and challenging the government.
Eman Al-Nafjan is an amazing person. She's a linguistic professor. She's been blogging in English since 2009, basically doing everything that she can as a mother of four and as someone who is very passionate about seeing the people of her country be more empowered.
The courage of these women, and they're at the cutting edge. Each one of them has taken advantage of the opportunities of the internet through social media, through blogs, to make their voices heard. Very often, these are the writers who are getting into the most hot water.
These women wrote strenuously for years opposing the ban on female driving in Saudi Arabia. They were arrested and jailed, and then the ban was lifted.
Why would you arrest female activists, feminists, who are campaigning for women driving, as you declare that you're going to lift the ban on women driving? I think it's a matter of control. They want to control the conversation in the country.
Saudi Arabia is one of the United States' closest allies. The rights of women like these need to be brought to the heart of it. We can't simply look the other way when women's rights are being violated so brazenly.
The Freedom to Write Award will kick off a year-long intensive global advocacy effort. Of the 44 writers PEN America has honored, 39 have been released. It's a sign that raising this kind of ruckus actually can work.
I think if we continue to speak out for them, then it's harder for the Saudi government to forget about them, to silence them, to silence their families. I think it's really important for them to feel like they're not forgotten.
One thing I'm really sure of is that We stayed silent for months and it didn't help them.
Take my life, time, health, and all that I own if that is for the benefit of my country. Take my present, future, and all that I love if that satisfies you, and if it's for the good of our people. But don't take away my right to life and freedom and dignity. Don't take away all that I have dreamt of and striven for just to be a scapegoat for the benefit of another.
Silence won't keep them safe.